Hey everybody, so I want to have a really quick, very important conversation with you. And the question is, are you playing on the right field? Any of you have any kids that play sports? So I have a son who's a baseball player. He's been playing baseball for a long time. He's only 9. But, T-ball and Little League and all of those things. And over the years, he's always been one of the best players on the field. And it started to get to a point where he was a little bit frustrated with the fact that some of the other players, they weren't in it to win it, right? They weren't putting in the effort. Maybe they weren't practicing as much. And I could tell there was a little bit of a problem. And so we went out and we did some research and we found club teams, these select teams. Basically what it is, it's a competitive team. Now, in Little League, everybody that signs up gets to play. With the club teams, it's a little bit different. You have to actually go and try out. And they don't take everybody, right? So they select the best players. Well, luckily for him, he was one of the selected. And we went to the first practice, and would you know it? He was one of the worst players on the field. You had to qualify. By the way, it came at a pretty steep cost that we had to pay. And what I watched over the coming 2 months or so is I watched this young man who was, again, keep in mind, one of the best players on the field before. Now, one of the worst players on the field. In a 2-month period, I saw his capabilities, his talent, his skill set, and his mindset completely change. More in 2 months than I had seen in the previous 4 or 5 years that he'd been playing regular ball. So why am I talking to you about baseball? Your business, your life, it's the same thing. If what we're doing is we're comparing ourselves to this set over here, let's call it, the Little League, well, we better be careful that we are comparing ourselves to the right thing. You see, if you will put yourself in a different room, you might find that there's a lot more that you have available to you. You never want to be the smartest person in the room, ever. You want to be in a room where other people are thinking bigger, accomplishing more, have greater heart sets and mindsets. What they believe is capable is completely different. Oftentimes, number one, it's intentional. You've got to reach out. You've got to seek out. You've got to find those groups, those clubs, those select groups like the baseball. You got to find them. Number two, you may have to pay to play. Meaning you may have to pay money in order to get into these groups, whether it be coaching or masterminds or collaboration groups or conferences or what have you. You may have to pay to play. The one thing I know more than anything else is that the greatest investment you can invest in is you. Nobody can ever take that from you. The room that you're in, the field that you're playing on, it matters. If you're interested in knowing some of the resources that I use, click on the link below and I'll give you a free download of the list of things that I do. Podcasts, groups, coaching companies, collaboration groups, the whole deal. Be careful who you're comparing yourself and make sure that you're in the right room. Hope you have a great day. Be distinctive.